Picture this, folks. A big room, important people. These are Botswana's accounting officers. They're the ones with the keys to the national piggy bank. A pretty big deal, right? They hold the purse strings. They make sure the numbers add up for the whole country. So President Advocate Duma G Boko decides it's time for a chat, a high-level talk. He walks in, probably looking sharp. You know, presidential sharp, ready to inspire. The air is thick with anticipation. What wisdom will he drop today? He's not just there to talk numbers. He's there to talk about something bigger. He's there to talk about trust, about responsibility, about building a better Botswana. These accounting officers, they're like the financial superheroes of the nation. They don't wear capes, mostly suits, I imagine. Welcome to Adore Africa, thanks for watching. But their job is super important. They ensure that public funds are used for public good. For schools, for hospitals. Not for, a lifetime supply of gourmet biltong for one person, though tempting. President Boko knows their role is crucial. He sees them as guardians. Guardians of the people's money. That's a heavy title, but a vital one. He wanted to remind them of this incredible power and duty. He wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. The Let's Do Right by Botswana page. The purpose of this meeting, it wasn't just a routine check-in. Oh no. It was a moment to set the standard, a high standard, for everyone. President Boko aimed to reinforce the foundations of good governance. Solid stuff. He believes that how a country manages its money speaks volumes about its character. It shows what it values. It shows its commitment to its citizens. So, this gathering was about more than just spreadsheets and ledgers. It was about the soul of public service. It was about integrity. He was laying down the gauntlet, in a nice presidential way, of course. President Boko stepped up to the podium. You could hear a pin drop. He began his address, his voice calm but firm, full of purpose. He wasn't there to point fingers or to make people nervous, not his style. He was there to uplift, to guide, and to remind them of their noble calling. He stressed that their work is not just a job, it's a sacred trust. A trust given to them by the people of Botswana. Every single citizen. He wanted them to feel the weight of that trust, but also the honor. And to know that with great financial power comes great financial responsibility. Spidey sense for spending. Now, let's talk about the main course of Boko's speech: accountability. Big word. It basically means, if you're spending public money, you better be able to explain why, and how, and where it went. No magic tricks, please. Unless the trick is more hospitals. President Boko made it crystal clear. Transparency is not optional, folks. It's like having glass pockets. Everyone can see what's going in and what's coming out. He emphasized that every pula spent must be accounted for, diligently and honestly. This isn't just about avoiding trouble. It's about earning public confidence. It's about showing the people that their hard-earned cash is working for them. Boko probably shared some thoughts on what happens when accountability goes missing. It's like a shepherd losing count of the sheep. Suddenly, there are fewer sheep, and no one knows where they went. Or maybe one guy has a suspiciously large new flock. That's not the Botswana he envisions. He wants a system where every coin is a soldier fighting for development, for progress, for the well-being of all Botswana. He called for a culture where asking questions about expenditure is normal, encouraged even, where "because I said so" is not an acceptable answer when it comes to public funds. This openness, he argued, is the bedrock of a healthy, thriving democracy. Think of it like this: accountability is the government's way of showing its work. Remember in math class? You couldn't just write down the answer, you had to show the steps. Same thing here, but with much bigger numbers, and the whole country is your teacher. President Boko stressed that this isn't about catching people out. It's about building strength. It's about creating robust systems that are resistant to misuse and mismanagement. He wants accounting officers to be proud of their meticulous record-keeping, to see it as a badge of honor, a testament to their professionalism. Because when the books are clean, the nation's future looks a whole lot brighter. And transparency? That's accountability's best friend. They go together like pap and sessoir. It means making information accessible, letting the sunshine in, so to speak. President Boko urged the officers to champion openness in all their dealings. He believes that when citizens understand how public money is used, trust blossoms. It's hard to trust what you can't see. It's human nature. We all get it. So, clear reporting, understandable figures, and open communication are key. This approach doesn't just prevent corruption, it actively builds a partnership between the government and the people it serves. That's the goal. President Boko then likely shifted gears, talking about leadership. Not just any leadership. He spoke of leadership in public office, a special kind of responsibility. It's not just about being the boss, it's about setting the example, every single day. He probably shared some stories, perhaps hypothetical, of what good leadership looks like. Imagine a department head who turns things around with sheer honesty and hard work. Someone who says, "The buck stops here, and the books will be open for all to see." That's the kind of integrity Boko was championing. It's powerful stuff. It's about making choices that benefit the many, not just the few. He would have emphasized that integrity isn't a part-time gig. You can't clock in and out. It's about who you are, especially when no one is watching, or when everyone is. For accounting officers, integrity means handling every pooler with utmost care, as if it were your own grandmother's savings. You wouldn't want Granny to lose her money, right? President Boko's message was clear. Let your actions speak louder than words. Let your diligence and honesty be a beacon for others in public service. This creates a ripple effect. Good leadership inspires more good leadership. It's contagious in the best possible way, like a yawn, but for ethical behavior. Positive examples in public service are worth their weight in gold, or diamonds for Botswana. Boko likely encouraged the officers to be those examples, to be the heroes of this story, to show that public service can be a noble path, filled with purpose. He might have painted a picture of an official who rejects a bribe, not out of fear, but out of a deep-seated commitment to their country and its people. That's true strength. These aren't just feel-good stories. They are the building blocks of a trustworthy government. When people see leaders acting with integrity, they start to believe change is possible. They start to believe in the system, and that belief is priceless. Ultimately, President Boko's point was that numbers tell a story, but integrity writes it. You can have the most sophisticated accounting systems in the world, top-notch software. But if the people running them lack integrity, those systems are just fancy tools. It's the human element, the commitment to doing what's right, that truly matters. He urged the accounting officers to be more than just number crunchers. He called on them to be moral compasses for their departments, for the nation, to uphold the highest ethical standards, not because they have to, but because they choose to. Because they believe in a Botswana built on honesty and fairness. Then came the call for teamwork. Because no one can fix a nation's finances alone, not even the president, not even the smartest accountant with the biggest calculator. President Boko stressed that accounting officers are a team, a very important team. They need to work together, support each other, and share knowledge. Like a well-oiled machine, every part doing its job smoothly and efficiently. He highlighted that honesty within the team is paramount. Super important. If you see something that doesn't look right, you have to speak up. Not to cause trouble, but to protect the integrity of the whole system. This collaborative spirit, Boko explained, is what builds resilience. When everyone is looking out for the nation's best interests, the system gets stronger. It's harder for things to slip through the cracks. Fewer oops moments with public money. He encouraged an environment where colleagues can hold each other accountable. In a respectful way, of course. It's about collective responsibility. Teamwork means sharing best practices, learning from mistakes together, and celebrating successes together. Like when a big project comes in under budget, that's the kind of teamwork that builds trust, not just within government, but with the public too. President Boko's concluding message was one of unity and shared purpose. Powerful. He urged all officials, not just the accounting officers, to put Botswana first, to look beyond individual ambitions or departmental silos. Think big picture. He painted a vision of a future where every citizen benefits from good governance, where public resources translate into tangible improvements in people's lives. Better schools, accessible healthcare, thriving businesses, and opportunities for all. This future, he insisted, is within reach, but it requires everyone to pull in the same direction. It requires a collective commitment to excellence and integrity. His final words were likely a powerful call to action, a motivator. He encouraged every single officer to see themselves as an agent of positive change. Is Adore Africa, thanks for watching, to embrace their roles with renewed vigor and a deep sense of patriotism, to work together with honesty and dedication for the Botswana they all love. Because building a prosperous and just nation isn't a spectator sport, everyone has a part. President Boko left them with a sense of hope, a sense of duty, and a clear understanding that their work, done well, is fundamental to Botswana's journey forward. A journey towards a brighter, more accountable, and more transparent